Hello, good evening. Kelly here with Get the Skinny on Beachbody Coaching Weekly Chat. And this evening, Shelly, Hannah, and Amethyst, all lovely and all vivacious, are going to discuss the power of storytelling in coaching. I read some really interesting articles today about storytelling and why it's important, really, in anything that you're trying to do that's entrepreneurial, especially when it involves helping people and hopefully producing sales. Because without sales, it's not a business, it's a hobby, which is fine. But one of the interesting things that I read, a couple of interesting things that I read about storytelling is that when you tell stories to help people get a bigger picture of why your service or product might work for them, two very interesting things happen. One is, if you do it the right way, 5 times more of their brain is activated by the process of storytelling, and it activates their imagination in the process. The other thing is, when their imaginations and these extra portions of their brain are activated, it produces a hormone called oxytocin, which produces empathy. So storytelling is pretty powerful, and I think we've all used it in our coaching businesses in different ways. So I thought maybe tonight we would discuss maybe a little bit about our stories or how we've used stories in our business to help people see the possibilities in living happier, healthy, more productive lives. All right, so anybody have any initial comments or things they'd like to say about that?
Sure.
Yes, Shelly.
I'll jump in. With me, since my journey started 5 years ago, and actually before then when I had my kids, I've learned with my storytelling, it's important to remember where you started. Because 5 years in, people can see my daily workout videos that I post every day and be like, oh, she's really in shape, she's this, she's that. But if you don't know the story behind it and how hard I've worked to get to this point, it's easy to dismiss it that I could never do that or I'm not like that. So for me, sharing my story is helping people to connect with, I haven't always, worn this size or been this mentally clear, not that I'm mentally clear every day, but, and those are stories I tell too. Like I'm at the point of sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's what people relate to. And you want people to see that you're just like everybody else. You're not, it doesn't take some superhuman ability to work out every day. It takes dedication, and it takes making the decision to make your life better and not allowing all of the outside noise to detract you from that, which can be hard. But you have to stick by it and say, no, I drew this line in the sand, I made this decision, and I'm going to follow through. Mm-hmm. So that's why, to me, it's important that I share every day. Not only, I totally kicked butt on this move, but guess what? I fell over on my butt on this one, so that it stay relatable and you can see you can get results without perfection. And, the more I tell about my kids or my pets, or, it makes you more connected to other people who are like you. And in the same token, your stories can also weed out the people that aren't your tribe. So that's important too. It's not like a mean thing, like you can't sit at my table, but it's kind of like you'd be bored at my table, like we're not in the same category as far as our interests. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. That's a really good point. And folding the other thing occurs to me is folding storytelling in is not as essential, because otherwise you know, there's a lot of people out there that are posting their workout videos and their sweaty selfies, and and they're not telling the stories behind it. So to the person watching, it's almost like they're just showing off how, how much they work out, and and how committed they are, and how they're wearing a smaller size. But when people really know the story behind why they took that first step, and they kept taking those steps forward, to constantly improve themselves, and to be their best selves possible, that's when people can start to see themselves, in that, doing that, committing to that journey as well. And I would argue that everybody has a story, because there's so many people that I hear that don't believe they have stories. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And for me, when I started Beachbody journey, I didn't need to lose weight. I lost weight earlier on a previous journey, not the right way, but and I add that into my stories as well. But I always felt kind of like, well, who's going to listen to me? I don't have this incredible weight loss story. Well, who cares? I have a fighting depression story. I have a quit smoking story. I have a maintaining my weight loss story. I have a getting stronger story. Right. I have a learning discipline in, look at how good this is. This is what I mean. This is meal plan, and it's delicious. And I'm telling my story first so I can stuff my face when I'm done telling my story. Right. There's other facets. It doesn't have to be I lost 100 pounds, or, we all right. have stories, and we all relate to the people that we are meant to relate to.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, I'm doing this because I want to inspire my husband, or I want to inspire my significant other. I want to inspire my family. Maybe I don't, maybe I'm not talking about me personally, but maybe I'm really super fit. Maybe I have been my whole life, but, if I don't do it, it's not going to inspire, these other people in my life that could really use this won't get inspired to do it. Right. So sometimes it's more of a selfless thing. Your story is about, helping your family change their health legacy. Maybe they have a history of heart disease, or a history of diabetes, or a history of whatever. And this is a way that you can help them, maybe avoid the pitfalls of that family history.
Yeah, like yesterday morning when, we're getting ready for school, my kids are like, can you make me a shake? Like, yes, it just makes my
no, no shake for you.
No shake all over for you. No, but it's just like, absolutely, and it makes me so happy that they're asking for good nutrition, or like when they go to grab a snack and they're grabbing baby carrots instead of chips. And I didn't say anything about it.
No.
I never once said, you should be doing this. They're just watching and they're learning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very powerful stuff. So Hannah, what do you think about storytelling? Do you think the storytelling is powerful?
Very much so.
I knew she was going to say that.
How do you know? I know from my personal experiences over the past going on 5 years now, that people have been keeping up with me and rooting for me, cheering me on left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been pretty. They know all the crazy surgeries. Sometimes it's been a 5% survival rate, but I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
But now I just feel so incredible, and I have more just oomph in my step and everything else. And people are really starting to pay attention to me now. And they're like, okay, something has totally taken a hold of her. What is it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I have been cutting those ties with pharma and doing all this other stuff too. But it's just like, I had to finally get my act together when it came down to nutrition, with Shakeology, with working out, being dedicated, being persistent with all this stuff. I mean, it's really, for us, it's nothing it's like, well, duh, this is just total simplicity, But for a lot of people, they're just not there yet. They're not ready for it.
Right. But that means we have to continue to tell our stories. And I find that, the thing I struggle with is not so much telling my story, but you have to tell the same story over and over and over, maybe in different ways, but you have to keep telling it. And human nature is, well, I've already told that, so why do I need to say it again? Or why do I need, to remind people of that, of that part of my life? But, there's no guarantee when you tell your story once that everybody that needs to see it is going to see it, or everybody that needs to hear it is going to hear it. So you have to keep telling it over and over and over.
And one thing, that was really difficult for me for a long time, I no longer take anxiety medication, which is huge. That's major. Because, I had severe anxiety. I have PTSD. I'm not proud of it, but it's just, what's happened over the past going on 5 years now. It's just, a norm for me, but I'm able to maintain and deal with it. And, in the past, just mentioning certain things, it would trigger me and do things. But now I can openly talk about certain things and I'm okay. I'm totally just okay talking about, oh, well, okay, I have to go get a CT scan. Bring it on. I'm not afraid, So it's just those little things like that where I'm okay with sharing my story and doing stuff where in the past you would find me in the corner hiding and crying. But now I know the power of sharing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Very cool. So Amethyst, what about you? What do you think? How do you feel about storytelling and telling your story? By the way, what do you want to share a little bit of your story with us, or why you decided to go on the Beachbody journey? Was Tom just?
I knew about it before I met you guys. So,
right. Tom was super inspiring.
Well, I initially wanted to lose weight when I started in January. So, and then it's not going to work for anyone until they get in the mindset and make it a goal that this is what I'm going to do and be dedicated and stick to it. So you really have to get in that mindset or you're never going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to say, I'm not going to let anything get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And,
I finally got to that point. Like I finally motivated myself.
What do you think? What do you think made the difference? I mean, when did the shift happen for you?
When I wanted to lose some weight. Pretty much. Yeah. And I just had a goal that I wanted. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, no. That's enough.
I mean, like I wanted to lose the weight before, and would always get in the way. I'd start the program and then, I'd have to do this and I'd have to do that, or it'd be too much work or whatever. And I finally just decided I'm not letting anything get in the way. And then, like after 6 days, I could feel myself getting stronger. So that helped motivated me too. When you start seeing results, it helped motivate you. And then, like I was saying before, like you have to do it every day. And I know this because that's the way the program is designed, to do it every day. And if you don't do it every day, you're not going to see the results.
Right, because it's a compound effect.
And so that's another thing that keeps me motivated, is knowing that.
Right.
And, you know, and I don't want to miss the exercise anymore. I really want to do it because, like, you know, what I said, I think it was in our other call, I did those, what were they, the squat lunges, where I was so, oh my gosh, it was amazing, because I'm in my third block, and when I was doing these in the first block, I, you know, fallen over and everything, and now it's like, man, I had all this balance, and I could do them more and longer, and it was just, I was just amazed at how much more balanced and how much stronger I was. So when you see those results, that keeps you motivated too.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the better you'll get with it.
Yeah. What I'm loving is hearing you say, you know, you started out with the goal of losing weight, but what you're really getting excited about is how you feel stronger, how your balance is better, you know, and you're obviously your internal chemistry, your brain chemistry, everything is you're feeling better physically and mentally. And you know, you're at the point really actually pretty early on. You know, you just started in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where you're like, if you don't work out, like you miss it, you know, and that's a great place to be.
Oh,
that's a great
that happened way early on. Like, that happened like within the first week. I didn't want to miss it. The first week was like the hardest, you know.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, even at the end of that first week, I could already feel myself getting stronger. So it was like, well, I need to keep doing this. I don't want to miss this.
Yeah. See, your body is liking what you're doing for it.
Yeah,
in a big way.
I was really amazed. I wrote it down. I wrote down a date and wrote it down. I was like, I gotta keep track of this. I was really amazed. I wish I would have kept track the whole time, but
it's never too late. It's never too late to start keeping track and documenting.
So
that's awesome. That's awesome. See, and that's a great story. That is a great story to share.
It is a story, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a story, don't realize you have a story.
I know. See, that's the thing. Yeah, there are a lot of people that do not think they have stories, but everyone's got a story.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a story to tell. Totally.
But I do like you know, feeling stronger, having better balance, and it's so important so he can do things at his age now that he would never be able to do if he wasn't doing yoga. And like I feel like that, like if you trip, if like I don't know, if you're just doing something and you might trip, you know, you might catch yourself, you know, instead of falling down or something, because you got better balance and you've got all those reflexes and all.
Yep. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you know, it's funny because, you know, your story changes over time. You know, I started working out, you know, eating better and working out and drinking Shakeology because, you know, I, like Hannah, actually right around the same time. It's really funny, you know, it's really kind of freaky, spooky. I mean, her thing is completely different than my thing, but I was in a very bad place with my health and was making a lot of positive spiritual changes in my life, but my health was in a very, very bad place. And, you know, so that was my initial motivation for, you know, getting on this journey because, you know, I wanted to see my kids get married. I wanted to hopefully, you know, be able to enjoy my grandchildren someday if my kids ever get off their butt and have any grandchildren. And, but, you know, now it's, you know, it's all about now a lot of it is about, you know, not wanting to be 60, 65, 70, 80 years old and, you know, and being infirm, you know, being sick and infirm, you know, I want to be, you know, energetic and physically fit, you know, to the last until I no longer can, you know, and that's what it's really about. I really, I don't think that we have to settle. I don't think we have to go quietly into that sweet night. There's no reason for us to, just to believe that we have to accept, that we have to accept that old age is
I mean, aging is for idiots.
yes.
He said that.
Yes.
That was what he said tonight's workout.
Speaking of Tony and
Yes.
DX3.
But I feel the same way, like getting older, you want to, in my mind anyway, like getting older, it's like you do the exercises and then you're getting stronger, and then it's like you're I don't know how to put this, but like your bones, you're keeping you're keeping your bones stronger,
Right.
Everything.
Is there any validity to that? But I think it is.
Yeah.
The nutrition aspect of that, especially,
Yep.
we do that. And, the last thing I want to do is be a burden on my kids. So there's certain things that, of course, no matter what you do, if I get hit by a bus or something, but God forbid, but, all of these lifestyle diseases that are just taking over and are running rampant, if I can cut those options out, I'm going to do it, and we can only control what we can control. So rather than just being like, well, I'm going to be 43 in a couple of weeks, so it's too late now, and like, no, it's never too late. You
It's
just
never too
put a
late.
line in the sand and decide that you're going to change it, and you change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I say this freely too. I'm medium vein, so I want to make sure that I still look nice. That's what I go. I'm not conceited. I'm medium vein, so I want to
Oh, big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said that one day. I'm like, that's great, because you're not like completely into yourself, but you don't want to let it all go either. Right? You want to keep it,
Right.
So it's medium vein. But it's more obviously the health and fitness, and I have diabetes in my family, like strokes. There's all kinds of things that if it's within my control to prevent, and I don't prevent it, that's on me.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the responsibility to at least say, if something happens, well, I'm not responsible because I did everything I could to prevent it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's so many people out there that buy into the fact that they, because something runs in their family, that it's inevitable, so they might as well just do whatever the hell they want because they're going to get that heart disease anyway, or they're going to get that. But, but Darren O'Lean, the creator of Shakeology, says that's only about 25% true. Food, what we take into our bodies communicates to our cells, to our cells and our organs and our brain and all that stuff, what future we want. It communicates. So if you can change that communication at any time. You can literally change your DNA at any point, and it's never too late. Even to the point of, people have been, I know it's an extreme example, but people have been cured of cancer. People have reversed their diabetes. People have, reversed a lot of different ailments just by making the conscious decision and believing, yes, Hannah, believing that they can, and doing, not only fueling themselves properly, supplementing and filling in the gaps with proper nutrition, but also through a healthy mindset. And that's something we often forget about. We are what we eat, and we are what we tell ourselves as well.
Yep. And in one of the trainings I was in, the whole bottom line was, what legacy are you leaving? Because the legacy that was left to you does not have to be the legacy that you leave.
Nope.
To future generations.
Nope.
And that was powerful, because like you said, so many people are like, oh, well, diabetes runs in my family. No, because no one runs in your family. I love that. If you take care of yourself,
yeah,
not every type can be, but the lifestyle diseases, like I said, that are preventable. If you don't prevent them, then basically you're causing them, is the way that I look at it. Like, so you have to try whatever you can to be the best you that you can be with the cards that you're dealt. That's the way it works.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing in life I will not tolerate is excuses. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care what life threw you. You can overcome anything that you set your mind to. Do not use it as a crutch. It's like, oh, well, this runs in the family. Rise above it. Rise above it.
Yep, absolutely.
My boss is like that. He's like, he's got high blood pressure. And he's like, he said, I think that's what he said. If it's in your DNA, if it's hereditary, he goes, if it's in your family, it's hereditary, you're going to get it. He goes, it doesn't matter what you eat, and you can pray to God, Allah, Buddha, all you want all day long. And if it's hereditary, then that's the way it's going to be.
Couldn't be more wrong.
I agree.
Could not be
And
more
you know
wrong.
what? He's not someone you just sit there and you say, okay, because just he's right and he knows everything and there ain't no telling him different. So you just say, okay.
And he's telling you that while he has a quarter pounder in one hand and a box of donuts.
Actually, no, he actually does eat pretty healthy because he is on high blood pressure medicine. So, but he eats healthy because I think there was something else. But I mean, he's a healthy, and he does exercise too. He's actually got a lot of Beachbody stuff. He actually had stuff delivered to the lab for his wife. So he believes in all of that, but not just like, I
I was
guess.
going to say, so he doesn't 100% believe that then, because if he did, he wouldn't bother with trying to be healthy if he figured, well, why should I bother? So he's conflicted. That's
conflicted.
That's okay. We give people a chance to work it out themselves because, like we were saying before, if you're not ready, it doesn't matter what anyone tells you, what proof they have, what look at it, and it's like, no, I won't look at it. It doesn't matter what you do unless somebody is willing to make that change themselves. So all we can do is keep that, because what did they say? A lot of people take 7 exposures to something before they'll consider it. So you just have to keep telling your story, because you never know which is going to be that day that they're in the right mindset to receive. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I really believe in the mindset thing, because that's what it took for me. That's what happened with me, because me and my one friend, we would talk back and forth about how we gained all this weight, and she would say, oh, she'd do exercise one day, or she'd start jogging, and then it would just fade away, and I'd be like, I just can't get motivated. I don't care. I can't get motivated. But yet I wanted to lose the weight. And then it was like, oh, exercise here and there. And it's just, I just didn't have the motivation. And then finally I just decided that I was going to do it. And I started January 1st, but it was not a New Year's resolution. It was just because that was a good time frame for me, and I wanted to start in the beginning of the month. And then I had a 3-day weekend because of the holiday, the way it all fell and everything. So that just worked out for me that way. Right. And it was on a Monday, and that works out good for me, because then I have Monday through Saturday, and Sunday can be my rest day.
That's cool. Yeah, I was the person that was complaining about what size I wore, and literally my sister-in-law would get together to watch Desperate Housewives every week. And I would make a 9x13 pan of these like cake brownies. And I would have part of it, and she would leave, and I would spread Cool Whip over the entire in one sitting. And then wonder why my ass was so big. when it got to the point where I used to love this amaretto creamer in my coffee, and if I didn't have it, I wouldn't drink coffee. So obviously the addiction was to the amaretto creamer and not the coffee. And that's when I finally decided to get rid of the sugar because of the diabetes in my family. I'm like, you are walking down the wrong path here. But I would literally just sit there and, oh, it was bad. And these like fluffer nutter sundaes I used to make, it was terrible. But in that point, I wasn't ready, and it took that click in my brain.
Exactly.
It's been 11 years since then. So
I really think that something just one day it just clicks. It just like decide you're going to do it. Whatever is the trigger to cause that.
Yep. Well, I remember being in a dressing room and thinking some sumo wrestler snuck in with me, and I'm like, no, that's your ass. It was just like, who is that? Oh my God.
Now that you say that, you know what else motivated me? Because it was that weekend, right before I decided to do this, I was trying on clothes and I was in a dressing room and there was all these rolls and I'm like, who the hell wants to look at this? And I'm like, okay, you got to do something.
But it was my butt. I'm like, what is that? Whatever it takes,
Right.
But the bottom line is to be the healthiest. Like I think a lot about the weight I lost, but it's not as important to me as just being healthy. There are people of all sizes that are healthy, and there are people of all sizes that are unhealthy.
Yep. Yeah. And it all comes down to what we put in our bodies. I mean, I myself was never, I have never been self-conscious about my shape or my size. But, I was absolutely thrilled, of course, that once I started eating clean and drinking Shakeology, that like 50 pounds just dropped off my body. I mean, just fell off.
You weren't exercising?
No, not when I first initially lost the weight, no.
But you used to Shakeology as a meal replacement to lose the weight? See, I can't do that, man. I'm hungry an hour later. I can't do it as a meal replacement. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it's my breakfast. That's what I have every day.
I don't eat breakfast anyway, so.
Well, that's a problem.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, I think we've discovered something here that might help you.
How do you make
I can't eat right away when I get up because it just I get sick. I can't.
I used to be that way. Yeah.
Now I have to eat. But it's all because I was the same way. I'm like, I cannot eat when I first wake up. I'm going to barf.
Yep.
With 80-day obsession, that was part of the deal. You have to eat when you get up. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to barf. I didn't barf. And now I wake up and I'm like, I want my breakfast. So
yeah,
give it a go. Even if you start with the Shaco for breakfast because it's not heavy.
Well, you know what I do? What I've been doing with the Shakeology that I find's been working is because I work in a lab and because of my hours and when I eat and so I'll eat and I got like an hour drive on the way home, so I'll eat like an apple and sometimes I'll be like starving. I'll drink the Shakeology before my workout and then I'll work out.
Okay.
And then I eat my dinner after my workout. But that's like the only way it works for me, and I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but it's the way I can fit in my program.
However you can make it work is the right way for it to work.
Yeah. Because, one good thing my boss suggested was for me to do my workout as soon as I work in a door, and that's been working. Because before I would eat, and then I would and then you gotta let your food settle before you work out, but then I'd be tired and I'd end up falling asleep and then I would never do my workout. So, sorry. I just smacked my cat in the face.
We only have what I was gonna say is when people ask me when's the best time of day to work out, I always say when you'll do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't I'm a morning.
It's not gonna work for me in the morning. I've tried it in the morning and it just does not going to work for me in the morning.
I'm a morning girl.
morning girl, but not everybody is.
Even
I have
on a
to do
week,
it before I'm
even on
awake
the
enough to make
weekends.
excuses. Like I get up and I'm just like zombie, start that workout, and then by the time I know what's going on, I'm already in it. So
Yeah.
I like to sleep the last possible second, and then some. I should be a cat because I could sleep 17 hours a day, I think. I'm a sleeper.
That's awesome. Well,
All
we're
right.
running out of time. So
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. This was really great.